Okay, today in this lecture we are going to learn pneumatic circuits. We'll start with the very basic circuit, which is of direct control of a single acting cylinder. Here is the question for you. A single acting cylinder of a small piston, let's say diameter is very small diameter. So to clamp component, when push button is pressed, as long as push button is pressed, cylinder is to remain in clamped position. If push button released, cylinder is retract. So you have to develop a pneumatic control circuit. And yes, very specific question. You have to use 3 by 2 three-way two position direct control valve. Right. So here you can see generally 3 by 2 DC valve, push button valve, which generally looks like this. In normal position, one is connected to two. So one is a pressure port which is connected to two working port, and yes, when we are applying a force, so one is blocked, so there is no pneumatic pressure, and 2 is connected to 3, so working port is connected to 3, which is a exhaust port. So this shows the initial position. So in initial position you can see 2 is connected to 3, and the piston moving towards left side, right? It is a single acting spring return piston, right? Piston cylinder assembly. So piston is moving left side, or say the initial position is the piston is at left side, and dotted line show the return line. So from 2 it enters to the valve and exhausts through the port 3. So when you are applying push button, so the valve is getting actuated. So when the valve is getting actuated, one is connected to 2, and from left the pneumatic air, compressed air, is entering the cylinder piston assembly, and it gives the push, it gives the thrust to the piston, so piston moves towards the right. So this is the actuated position, and this shows the initial position. The above figure shows 3 by 2 DC valve, which are generally normally open type of valve. So in normal condition is one is connected to 2, you can see. So this is how you can develop a circuit for this question, right? The question belongs to direct control of a single acting cylinder, right? So this is how you can develop the circuit of this particular thing. Now we'll see the question number 2. This question is specifically related to the speed control of a single acting cylinder. So we'll develop a speed control circuit over here. So I'm reading the question. A single acting cylinder of a small bore, so it is a small piston, is to push and clamp lightweight workpiece in a feed magazine. When push button is pressed, the forward motion of piston must be slow. So you have to control the speed of the piston. So forward motion of a piston must be slow. The piston is to retract with normal speed when push button is released. Develop a circuit to implement using throttle valve. As we have earlier declared that it is a speed control of a single acting cylinder, so you must have to use a throttle valve, that is for sure, right? Now this is the circuit you can see here, right? So this is the initial position which you can see on your screen, whereas this is the actuated position, right? So when the power is on and you apply force with the push button, now the circuit will be actuated. So here one, which is a pressure port, is connected to 2, which is a working port, and it is passing through this valve. Air flows through the throttle valve. It is not exactly a throttle valve, it is a throttle control valve. So it moves in a forward direction, and thus it gives thrust with a specified or measured quantity of air to the piston. So piston moves with a specific speed towards right, and when the push button is released, it comes to its original or initial position. So you can see here, due to spring return, and when the push button is released, the piston is moving towards left, and the dotted line shows the second path or return path. So when it passes through it, it comes through the check valve and back to port number 2, and from 2 it is connected to the port 3. Port 3 is nothing but an exhaust port, right? So this is a very simple or very basic example of a single acting cylinder, and what you are doing here, you are controlling the speed. Again, in first case and second case, we were having a same mechanism, that is clamping. It is used for the clamping purpose. Now we'll discuss third question or third circuit, right? And it is an example of the indirect control of a single acting cylinder. How it is indirect control, I will explain you afterwards. So first read this. To clamp workpiece, a single acting cylinder using large piston diameter, upon operation of 3-way 2 position 3 port 2 position DC, that is direction control push button valve, from remote position, when push button is released, cylinder is to retract, right? These are the conditions given to you. So to clamp a workpiece, a single acting cylinder using large piston diameter is used. Upon operation of a 3/2 DC push button valve from a remote position, the cylinder is to extend, and when the push button is released, the cylinder is to retract, and you have to develop a circuit for this. First you can see this is what are required. The workpiece is shown to you. You can see the piston which is inside the cylinder and its link which is outside. So when force is applied and when piston is moving towards left, it goes towards the workpiece and clamp the workpiece. So it is a arrangement for the clamping of workpiece, right, as we are asking for, right? This is the simple arrangement, and what we want an indirect control through this. So this is the initial position. So when push button is not applied and the piston is at left side, so the dotted line shows the downward direction of flow. So at that time, in a control valve, right, 2 is open to 3, so working port is open to 3, so air is getting exhausted. Okay, and 2 to 12, right, upward side, again it is going towards downward direction only, not in a upward direction or forward direction, right? So now I will show you the actuated position. When the push button is applied, when you are applying a push button, so push button of 3/2 DC valve, so what happens, 1 is connected to 2, so compressed air which is passing from 1 to 2, it passes to the 12. So 12 number shows the pilot port. 12 number shows the pilot port which is nearby that arrangement. Let's say you are at, let's say, 5 or 10 meter away from this arrangement. So what you have control on this push button 3/2 DC valve, and the pneumatically operated 3/2 DC valve which is nearby this arrangement. So when you are applying a push button, one is connected to 2 and 2 is connected to 12, which is a pilot port. So that pilot port, when it opens to the one again pressure port of 3x2 DC valve, which is connected to 2. So the working port of 2 will allow air inside the cylinder, so it will give thrust, it will give push to the piston, so piston will move towards the right. And when this lever is say closed or retract by you, when you are not applying force or you are taking back the push button, it comes to its normal position. So this is the normal position. Due to spring force, the piston will come back to its initial position, or it will come towards left side. So working port 2 will be connected to the 3, which is the exhaust port. So this is how you can achieve indirect control of a single acting cylinder. So till now we have gone through 3 circuits. One is a direct control of single acting cylinder, second one is the speed control of a direct acting or direct control of a single acting cylinder, and now we are seeing indirect control of a single acting cylinder. And this is the arrangement which you can see on your screen. Now we'll see fourth example. Up till now we have gone through single acting cylinder. Now we'll see the double acting cylinder, and we'll see first with the direct control of that. So here is the question for you. A double acting cylinder of small bore to extend and clamp workpiece, when push button pressed, as long as push button is actuated, the cylinder is to remain in clamped position, and when it is released, cylinder should come back to the retract position. Right, again I am reading it. Double acting cylinder of a small bore is to, it is having a small bore. Small bore is to extend and clamp a workpiece when a push button valve is pressed. As long as the push button is actuated, the cylinder is to remain in the clamped position. If the push button is released, the cylinder is to retract. You have to develop a pneumatic control circuit to implement the above requirement. This is what required. So you can see here in this figure, right, this shows the initial position. So here we have used 5x2 DC valve. You can also use 4x2 DC valve. Functionally 4x2 DC valve and 5x2 DC valve are similar. There is no difference at all. Only construction is different, otherwise there is no difference in the you can say function. So when push button is applied here, see, when we are applying a push button, so one is connected to 4, one is a pressure port, it is connected to 4. So through 4, which is having an opening at the left side, piston is moving towards right side, right. Piston will have a thrust, piston will have a push, so piston will move towards the right, and from the other side of port, which is connected to 2, right, the air is getting released or exhausted. So 2 is connected to 3 and 3 is giving exhaust, right. 1 is connected to 4, so piston is moving towards the right, and on the right side of the piston, whatever the air remained, it gives thrust to the port 2 and it is getting released through the 3. Now when we are taking back this push button to have a initial position, so what happens, pressure port is connected to 2, so when it passes through 2, it gives you can say pull or thrust or push, whatever you want to say, to piston. So piston moves towards the left side, and whatever the air remaining left side of the piston, it will pass through the 4 and thus it will pass through the 5 as an exhaust, right? So one is a pressure port. How one is getting air? When you are powering a power, giving the power on, compressor will give this air. So we haven't shown power source here in any circuit, we are not showing it, right? So the main component is here only. So this is actuated position when the force is applied, and this is the initial or normal position when it is released. So it is a two position of the circuit of the indirect control of a double acting cylinder, you can see here. Now we'll go through indirect control of a double acting cylinder, and also we'll see here a speed control of a double acting cylinder. We'll have a two target. First we have to control it indirect, right? And the second thing, we have to control its speed also. So indirect control of a double acting cylinder: for extend and clamp workpiece, cylinder is of a very large bore, and it requires a large flow rate to operate at correct speed. So this is what been asked, right? Indirect control and speed control to operate at correct speed. So this is how the arrangement looks like, right? When air is coming through the left side of the piston, it will move towards right and clamp the workpiece, and from the right port of this portion, when air is getting inside, piston moves towards left and thus it will release, and the piston speed should be controlled, and that's why we should use a throttle valve also. So the compressor, actually it is a fast working medium for both linear and rotary motion. So operating speed of a normal cylinder range up to, let's say, 1.5 meter per second. So the operating speed of a pneumatic actuator is determined by how quickly it can be filled with air from one side through one port and exhausted of air at the other side through the other port. So the maximum natural speed of a double acting cylinder is governed by a number of factors, which are you will learn in a theory also. So these are the cylinder dimension, port size, mounting position and cushioning, then switching time of the valve, nominal flow rate, etc., and the air supply. So what is the tube diameter, tube length, fittings, and the pressure, right? So it is always possible to increase or decrease the speed of an actuator from its normal maximum speed. Slow motion of the actuator can be realized by installing flow control valve, and whereas the rapid motion of the actuator can be realized by installing quick exhaust valve. So here we will apply throttle valve. So this is how the circuit will look like. This is the initial position, right? And this is actuated position. So we have used 3x2 DC valve, push button valve, which is at your end, and at the arrangement which shown earlier, it is having a pneumatically 5x2 DC valve, right? So when force is applied, so one is connected to 2 is connected to 14, which is a pilot port. So one 5x2 DC valve will start operating. So one is connected to the 4 and 4 is connected to the left side of the piston, so it will give push or thrust to the piston. So piston will move towards right side, and the reverse line is, or from a right side of the piston port, there is a number 2 working port, which is again connected to the number 3 exhaust port. So from manual push button, one is connected to 2 is connected to the 14 is a pilot port, and when it gives power to this 5x2 DC valve, pneumatically operated, so one is connected to 4 and 4 giving the thrust, so piston moves towards the right, and 2 is connected to 3 for a exhaust line. when you are relieving or retracting push button, you are taking back the piston. So what happens, one is connected to 2 because this 5 by 2 DC valve, which is a pneumatically operated, it is having that much pressure inside. So now this pressure port 1 is connected to 2, so which is again 2 is connected to the right side of the piston. So from right side it is getting a thrust or push, so piston moves towards the left, piston left side पे जाएगा, and the port which is having air uh, on the left side of the piston will be exhausted through 4 and 5. So this is how this circuit works. So it is the two position also in, you can say, two position of the circuit for the indirect control of a double acting cylinder. Now we'll see speed control, which we have just discussed. So speed control of a double acting cylinder. Now you will find the use of throttle valve, right? I have earlier explained that whenever there is you need a speed control or you have to slow down the piston, you should use a throttle valve. And if you want to have a quick motion, then you should go for a quick exhaust valve. So the example number 6 for developing a circuit is related to the speed control of double acting cylinder. So the double acting cylinder is used to drive cutter wheel to cut pipe. The feed speed is controlled by exhaust air throttling, right? This condition is given to you. The feed speed is controlled by exhaust air throttling. The pipe is pushed through chuck to stopper, so you have to develop the circuit, right? A simple arrangement I will show you afterwards, right? In a pipe, a double acting cylinder with a large bore is, I will show you in the figure. So double acting cylinder is used to drive the cutter wheel towards the center of a pipe to cut and separate it. The feed speed is controlled by the exhaust air throttling. The pipe is pushed through a chuck up to a stopper. You have to develop a control circuit to implement the above requirement. So this is how the arrangement will look like. So this is the pipe through spindle drive and the stopper, right? And this is the arrangement for a cutter. So cutter has to come on the pipe and it should cut the pipe. So this is how you can identify the arrangement for the cutting of the pipe using a double acting cylinder, and how it works that you can see here. So you can find here this is the initial position, right? Control the speed of the return motion, and this is actuated position, you can see, right? The throttle relief valve connected to port 2 of the final control element, it will control the speed of the forward motion, and the throttle relief valve, or you can say exhaust valve, connected to a port 4 of the final control element, control the speed of the return motion. So here you can see control the speed of the return motion in an initial position, and in actuated position it controls the speed of return motion, throttle relief valve. Okay, so when you are applying, say, force F right here, so one is connected to 2, so 2 will give pressurized air to 14 is a pilot port, so one will be connected to 4 here in pneumatically operated 5 by 2 DC valve, and through 4, right, air is going and it is giving thrust to the piston, so it moves towards the right, and through right port of the piston, there is getting backed through this control speed return motion of throttle valve to number 2 and through 3, right, it is getting exhausted. So this is how it works. Here you can see again. And when you are taking back the push button, so what happens? Now there is no connection of 1 to 2 in 3x2 DC valve, so there is no air at 14, right? So 1 is connected to 2, 1 is connected to 2, and 2 is connected to the right side of the piston. So piston will move towards the left, and whatever the air remained in the left side of the piston, it will move through this throttle valve as shown in the dotted line, and from 4 it is exhausted to the 5. So what you should understand here, the throttle valve which are connected here to port 2, right, and it controls the speed of the forward motion. So from left to right of the piston, it is a forward motion. And throttle relief valve which is connected to port 4 here of the final control element, it controls the speed of the return motion, which is from right to left. So this is how you can control the speed when you are having a throttle valve, and you can adjust the throttle valve according to your requirement. Now we'll see, up till now we have direct, indirect control and the speed control. Now we'll see question related to the memory control. Memory control of a double acting cylinder. Memory control of a double acting cylinder, right? The question goes like this. The piston of double acting cylinder extended to final forward position when 3x2 way push button forward valve is actuated. This piston is to remain in that position until the return stroke. So this should be reminder. It is like a reminder. This should be memorized, right? So until the return stroke is set in motion by other 3x2 valve, push button, return push button, no? The cylinder is to remain in this position. Until a new start signal is given. The speed of cylinder is to be adjusted in both direction of piston motion. You have to develop circuit using 5x2 DC valve as a main valve from where you are controlling it. I am reading it again. The piston of a double acting cylinder is extended to the final forward position when a 3x2 way push button valve is actuated. This piston is to remain in that position until the return stroke is set in motion by a second, let's say 3x2 way push button valve, return valve. The cylinder is to remain in this position until a new start signal is given. The speed of the cylinder is to be adjusted in both the direction of piston motion. Develop a control circuit to implement the above requirement using 5x2 DC valve as the main valve. So here is the arrangement, which is similar to earlier we have shown. Simply we are working on the clamping motion. So arrangement for the clamping of workpiece, right? Function remains same, but we are utilizing different circuit for a different purpose. The main purpose here is to memorize the signal. So as let's say for a 2 second, 5 second, 3 second or 20 minute, it should clamp the workpiece. So for that we are developing this sort of circuit. So this is the arrangement. Now you can see here, for a forward 3x2 valve, for a return the other 3x2, you can say valve. There are two control you have, for a forward motion and for a return motion, right? And both which are connected to the 5x2 DC valve. So 5x2 DC valve is getting two input from port number 12 and port number 14, which are both are a pilot port. So this valve is a 5x2 DC valve, pneumatically operated valve, having a double pilot. So double pilot valve, again which is connected to the throttle control valve, you can see here. So this is the normal position and this shows the actuated position. So when the forward line is actuated, so when the 3x2 DC valve, the forward DC valve, you are applying force to it, push button to it. So one is connected to 2 is connected to 14, and so in a 5x2 DC valve, one will be connected to 4, and through this line, left side line, continuous line, so it will pass through the left side of the piston and it will give thrust to the piston towards right. So piston will be at the outermost or rightmost, right? And the whatever the air which is at the right side port, it is passing through this throttle valve and 2 to 3 and it is getting exhausted. Okay, so it will remain here for that time which you have applied, and when you are applying this return motion here, right? So now 1 is connected to 2 and 2 is connected to the pilot port 12. So through 12 number pilot port the signal is initiated, and 1 is connected to 2, and through this throttle control valve it moves from the right port of the piston and it will move piston towards the left until again the start signal is not given. Till that the piston will remain there on the left side of the piston cylinder as arrangement, right? So when I am explaining again so as you can understand easily. So when the 3x2 way valve meant for the forward motion is pressed, right here, this line, the 5x2 way valve switches over through the signal applied to the its pilot port 14. The piston travels out and remains in the forward end position, and when the 3x2 way valve meant for the return motion is pressed here, the 5x2 way valve switches back to the initial position through the signal applied to its pilot port 12. The piston then returns to its initial position and remains in the rear end position here. So this circuit is called a memory circuit, as the 5x2 way double pilot valve can remember the last signal applied in the terms of the position of the spool in the absence of reset springs, thus memorizing or storing the pneumatic signal. You may analyze the effect of pressing the push buttons for the forward and return motion simultaneously, right? That you can have an experiment also. The next circuit, so control of double acting cylinder. So control of double acting cylinder with OR logic. A large bore double acting cylinder is to extend and punch a workpiece when either a push button valve or a foot pedal is pressed. The cylinder is to retract when the second push button is pressed. So now we are talking about the logical valve or logic. So we are generally using shuttle valve, right? So what is the control task? A large bore double acting cylinder is to extend and punch a workpiece when either a push button valve or a foot pedal valve is pressed. The cylinder is to retract when a second push button is pressed. You have to develop a pneumatic circuit to implement the given control task, right? You can see this figure, right? So this is the initial position, and this shows the actuated position, right? There are two inputs and one output. As it is a OR type of valve, right? Any of the signal, right, कोई भी एक signal दोगे, it has to work, right? The two position of the circuit for a control task with signal input from a push button valve alone and signal input from a foot pedal valve alone, right? That you can see here in figure. So the double acting cylinder extends due to the application of a single, either from the push button valve or from the foot pedal valve. It has to work, and that's why it is called as a OR gate. If it would have been a AND gate, then simultaneously both should be applied, then and then it will give the output, right? This is the basic difference between OR and AND gate, right? So see here, so when you are applying foot pedal force, so one is connected to 2 is connected to 14. So from pilot port 14 there is, you are getting the output 2. So 12 14 2 जहाँ पे बताया, it is a shuttle valve which is OR gate or OR valve you can say. So it is getting a signal from 14, and through 14 it is giving output at 2. The 2 is again connected to the 14 of the 5x2 DC valve. So 14 is a pilot port over here. So one is connected to 4, and from this working port of 4 it moves towards the left side of the piston and it gives thrust to the piston. So piston is moving towards the right, and from the right port of the piston, whatever they are remaining, it is passing through this throttle control valve to the working port 2, and thus it is exhausted through 3. So this is how it works. So anything you could have done, so either you could have a force on as it's shown at foot pedal, you also could have given a force to this push button also. So if you could have given a force to the piston, right, push button, so it would look like this. Same arrangement, same thing, and again same output. Piston will move from left to right due to the thrust, but earlier it was due to the foot pedal, now it is due to the push button. Now when you are pressing this push button, so one is connected to 2 is connected to the 12 of the shuttle valve, and from 12 it is getting signal output at 2, right? And this 2 is connected to the pilot port 14. So one is connected to the 4, and 4 is connected to the left port of the piston. So piston moving towards the right, and whatever the air remaining in the right side of the port, it moves through the throttle control valve to the 2 and to the 3, right? So this is it's the same output either through push button or through this foot pedal, okay? And when you are releasing this push button, which is shown in with the dotted line, right, so the piston will come back from right to left. So this is how the circuit comes. You should show the third one also, in which you can show this when one is connected to 2, and when you are having a retracting position of this push button, 2 is connected to the 12, so one will be connected to the 2, and through throttle valve it will push back this piston to the right to the left, and from 4, which is connected to the 5, exhaust will happen, right? So this is how this system works for you can say subtle valve or a logical valve. So the two position of a circuit you have seen for the control task, with the signal input from a push button valve alone and signal input from a foot pedal valve alone. So double acting cylinder extend due to the application of a single either from the push button valve or from the foot pedal valve. Now we'll see next example, right here. Now you have to use AND logic. So control of cylinder with AND logic, a large bore double acting cylinder is to extend and clamp a workpiece when two push button valves are pressed simultaneously. The main reason is safety, for a safety reason. So these push button valves are installed in such a way that both valves cannot be operated with one hand, right? There must be some distance, so you cannot operate with the only one hand. You should not operate the two push button, right? It should be at different or location or at some distance, so as risk factor remains less or you are more conscious. So be operated with one hand, implying both hand must be used to operate these two valves. This is the condition. When you are applying both the hand, then and then you will be able to press the valve, and when both the valve is pressed, then and then the piston will move or the actuator will do some action, maybe pipe cutting, maybe sheet metal cutting, like so. Implying both the hands must be used to operate these two valves. The cylinder is retract when any one or both push button are released. So you have to develop the circuit for it. So here is the circuit goes like this. So this is single signal from push button, one push button, and here signal from two push button, right? That you should understand. So when you are applying both the push button, right, for two different 3x2 DC valve, the circuit goes like this. One is connected to 2 for a left valve, for a right valve one is connected to 2, and they are giving the signal to 12 and 14. As this is a pressure relief valve, or you can say N type of logic valve, so whenever it is getting signal from both hand, then and then it will work. So as it is getting signal from 12 and 14, there will be output at 2 is connected to the 14, so one is connected to 4 in a 5x2 DC valve pneumatically operated, and from 4 it will move to the left side of the piston port. So it will push the piston towards the right, and exhaust will come through the throttle control valve here. So when this signal, it is a signal from two push button. Okay, let's say when any of this you have applied, so either you have applied one push button and not a second one, so there will not be a signal at 14 and there will be a signal at 12. But as it is a AND logic, you should have a signal at 12 and 14 both. Either of it will not work, so there will not be output from 2, so there will not be any connection, so it will not give any sort of output, so it will remain in as it is position. Okay, so I'm explaining this thing again. So the requirement of the given control task is the well-known, you can say, two-hand safety operation. This means that an operator can operate the machine for clamping the workpiece only by pressing the two push buttons simultaneously, and he has to use both his hand to do this. So the two position of the pneumatic circuit you can see, and this is how it works. We'll see the next example, number 10. So automatic return, it is meant for automatic control or automatic return motion of a double acting cylinder. We want automatically the piston should return. So automatic return motion of a double acting cylinder. A double acting cylinder is to extend and push workpiece onto chute. Chute means a big gate. So when the push button is operated, after reaching forward end position, here the double acting cylinder is to retract automatically, provided the push button for the forward motion is no longer actuated. Provided the forward motion, push button for forward motion is no longer actuated. Again reading this, a double acting cylinder is to extend and push workpiece onto a chute when a push button is operated. After reaching the forward end position, the double acting cylinder is to retract automatically, provided the push button for the forward motion is no longer actuated. So this is how it looks like. This is the position when cylinder is extending towards the right, and this is the position when the cylinder begins to retract. When the cylinder begins to retract. When we are talking about the automatic return motion, we should use a roller valve as shown in the figure, right? There are two 3x2 DC valve. One is a push button 3x2 DC valve and the another one is a roller type of valve. So when in a 3x2 DC valve, one is connected to 2, right? 2 is connected to 14, which is a pilot port. One is connected to 4, and from here piston is getting thrust towards the right, and exhaust is happens through the port 2 to 3, right? So this is how it works. So this is its position when cylinder is extending and when you are applying a force F. Okay, and this is the second position when somehow you are mechanically or automatically applying a force to the roller valve. So here one is connected to 2, 2 is connected to 12, and so one is connected to 2, and through 2 and through throttle control valve with specific speed, the air enters to the right end of the piston and it will give thrust, so piston will move towards the left. This is how it retracts. So these are the two positions. You can see it again, right? Okay, so here 1.3 is a limit. It should not go beyond this for a piston cylinder. Okay, so the two position of the pneumatic circuit for the control task. So in the normal and actuated position of double acting cylinder, you can see here. So to implement the given control task of 5x2 DC valve double pilot valve, which is noted as a 1.1, is used as the final control element. A 3x2 DC push button valve, which is noted as 1.2, is used to initiate the forward motion of the cylinder. A roller valve 1.3 mounted on the extend position of the cylinder, right? 1.3 is used to obtain the signal for the automatic retraction of the cylinder, right? Two position of the circuits you can see here. This type of control where the presence of an operator is required for the initiation of each cycle is known as a semi-automatic operation. So you cannot say it is 100% automatic, it is a semi-automatic. So when the piston rod, when it touches to 1.3, So 1.3 will give the signal for actuation of the roller. So force will be provided to the 1.3, and thus the roller valve will operate and it will bring back to its original position. Now the rapid motion of a double acting cylinder, for which we are generally using quick exhaust valve. So you can see here application of quick action, or that quick valve you will use, right? So rapid motion of a double acting cylinder. So the operation of two identical push button valves causes the advanced motion of a forming tool on a bending machine. For rapid forward travel circuit, we uses a quick exhaust valve. The forward motion folds edge of the flat sheet. If either of two push button released, the double acting cylinder it should return to the initial. This is what are required. I am reading it again. So the operation of a two identical push button valves causes the advanced motion of a forming tool on a bending device. For rapid forward travel, the circuit utilizes a quick exhaust valve. The forward movement folds the edge of a flat sheet. If either of the two push button is released, the double acting cylinder is to return to the initial position, and you have to develop a control circuit, pneumatic control circuit for this. This is what we are talking about. This is how it should work, the bending machine, right? This is a 5x2 DC valve which is connected to this arrangement. You want to have bending operation, right? And the circuit will look like this. This is its a rapid forward stroke, right? And this shows a normal return stroke. So this shows a normal return stroke here. So in rapid forward stroke, what happens? We are applying push button to both the DC valve, 3x2 DC valve. So both will be connect so its pressure port 1 to the working port 2. So it will give signal to the pilot port 12 and 14, and as this valve at 12 and 14 it gets the signal at 2, which is passed to the 14 number of pilot valve, right? So one will be connected to 4, so from 4 it will be at the left side of the piston. So piston will move towards the right or outer side, and from 2 of the quick exhaust valve, right, it moves towards 2, and through 3 it will be exhausted, right? So this is how it works. This was the quick exhaust valve. Here from any of the signal is released, right? So 2 will move to the 12, but this valve's working port is connected to exhaust, so it will not give a signal at 14. So there is no signal from this valve to the 5x2 DC valve, and so as the piston will return back from right to left, so this will be a very rapid forward motion due to the quick exhaust valve. Okay, so the two position of the circuit you can see here in the actuated and normal position. Other things are self-explanatory. So this is a normal or rapid forward stroke. just due to the action of quick exhaust valve, right? It creates a vacuum like thing at port 2, which is just right side of the piston. So it pulls the piston, so there will be a very fast rapid forward motion. Push is provided to the port 4 from left side, but from second port, which is the right side of the piston, it gives almost a vacuum like signal. So this is how it works. Now we'll see the 12th circuit, pneumatic circuit with time delay, right? Up till now we have seen direct control, indirect control, speed control, right? Then OR gate, AND gate, which is a logical circuit. Now we'll see the time delay, right? So a double acting circuit, pneumatic circuit with time delay, used for gluing machine. So upon operation and push button, the cylinder is to extend and trip the roller valve, once the fully extended position reached, the cylinder to remain there for a 5 second, let's say 5 second, 3 second, 10 second, to press components and retract the initial position, ये जनरली आप पंक्चर वाले के वहाँ जाओगे या फिर ग्लूइंग वाले के जाओगे, सनमाइका लगाने वालों के पास जाओगे, तो वो मैकेनिकली करते हैं. देयर विल बी अ वाइस एंड ग्लू लगाने के बाद उसको थोड़ा चिपका के रखते हैं थोड़ी देर के लिए, राइट? सो दिस सॉर्ट ऑफ थिंग इज हियर, but we want automation, so it should be automatically operated. So it is something like this, again the same arrangement, but what happens here, it after moving towards the right, this piston, when it is clamping the workpiece, which are two workpiece and there is a glue in between them, so it should remain for a while over there, so, right? And this is how this arrangement goes, right? So the two position of the pneumatic circuit you can see here. At the instant the roller valve is pressed, right? When the roller valve is pressed and when the cylinder begins to retract after the set delay time, right, the required time delay, let's say 5 seconds, is set using the time delay valve. So here 1.2, valve 1.2 initiate the forward motion of the cylinder, and when the cylinder is fully extended, the roller valve 1.3 is actuated and an output signal is generated. This signal is applied to pilot port 12 of the time delay valve. The time delay valve issues an output signal only after an elapse of 5 seconds from the application of the signal at its pilot port 12 to cause the return motion of the cylinder, right? So when the at 1.3 you are applying a force, one is connected to 2, and through that 12 throttle control valve, and there is a surging like thing, right? So after 5 seconds, one for this valve one is connected to 2 and you will have a signal at 12, and when you have a signal at 12, one will be connected to 4 and piston will move towards the right. So here time delay valve, so accordingly you can make this small reservoir according to your requirement. Right, this shows the position when the cylinder begins to retract after a delay of 5 seconds. Now it will move towards left side. So after 5 seconds what will happen? See, one will be connected to 12. Now through 12, as this you can say the reservoir is filled now with the air, it gives the signal. So one is connected to 2, so 2 is connected to 12, one is connected to 2, and through throttle control valve it gives air to the right port of the piston, and piston will move towards the left. So main controlling element is 5/2 DC valve, which is pneumatically operated. So these are the two position when you have applied a roller force. And when you are applying this push button, piston will move to the left to the right. If you want to move piston from left to right, you have to apply this push button. So 1 will be connected to 2, 2 will be 14, and from 1 to 4, and it will move to the right. And at 1.3, when the piston rod touches, it gives the signal to the roller valve. So roller valve will be actuated, but as roller valve is connected to the time delay circuit, so until this reservoir is not filled, it will not operate. So after, let's say, 5 seconds, when the reservoir is getting filled, so the motion from right to left will happen. So this is how it works. Now the next operation. So pneumatic circuit with pressure sequence valve. So a double acting cylinder used for gluing machine. Upon pressing the push button, it is same kind of thing which we have seen in the example 12. The clamping cylinder is to extend and trip the roller valve. Once the fully extended position of a cylinder has been achieved, reached and sufficient clamping force been developed, the cylinder is to retract to initial position. ठीक है, पहले वाले में क्या था, after 5 seconds it should retract, whereas here after sufficient pressure, whenever you are getting the sufficient pressure, it should retract. So this is how it works when you are applying a push button to 1.2 valve, which is a 3x2 DC valve, push button valve, right? It is having a direct signal to the 5x2 DC valve at number 14, pilot port 14. So one is connected to 4, and this 4 is connected to the left side of the piston. So piston will move towards the right, and when it will reach to the 1.3, ठीक है, piston rod जैसे ही 1.3 को टच करता है, so there will be automatic signal to the roller valve, which is 1.3, right? But now instead of sudden action, so roller valve will give signal, let's say, to the 12 here. So here is a pressure relief valve. So whenever it reaches to the 6 bar, then and then this dotted line will be converted to the main line, and there will be a flow. Okay, so when it is let's say it is a 6 bar here, you can see now. So the signal goes to 3x2 valve again. So one is connected to, and which is connected to the 12 for a 5x2 DC valve. So one will be connected to 2, and from port 2 the signal goes upward, and the piston will be moved to right to left here. So till that it will give the pressure from left to right. So once 6 bar is achieved, then the piston will come back to its initial position. So this is how this thing works, right? You can see here. So the two position you can see for a pneumatic circuit for the control task. So when the cylinder is extending and when the cylinder is fully extended, only these two things are shown to you, right? So here it is extending, and now it is fully extended up to 6 bar, right? So that's why at 5x2 DC valve you can see from 2 to towards left is a dotted line. So the pneumatic circuit, to implement the given task, the pressure in the sequence valve is to set to the working pressure, and the signal input to the pressure sequence valve is tapped from the power line from a port 4 of a valve 1.1 here to the cylinder to gauge the pressure on the piston side of the cylinder, right? So as the valve 1.2 initiate, the forward motion of the cylinder takes place. So while the cylinder is moving forward, the pressure in the power line from port 4 of valve 1.1 to the cylinder will not build up to the working pressure. Only after the cylinder is fully extended here will the maximum pressure in the line build up, resulting in sufficient clamping pressure. When the set pressure in the sequence valve is reached, the integrated 3/2 DC valve is actuated, generating an output signal. The signal is used to reset the final control element 1.1 and thus causing the return motion of the cylinder. Return motion here not it is shown. And the last circuit for today, it is a counter one for counting application. So it is you can say the application of cyclic operation, or you can say the application of pneumatic counters, right? So the question goes like this: a double acting cylinder is to carry out an oscillatory motion after double acting cylinder is to carry out an oscillatory motion after carrying a start signal is given. The cylinder should stop automatically after, let's say, 3 cycle or 4 cycle or 10 cycle of operation. You have to develop a circuit for that to implement the continuous to and fro motion of the piston for the required number of cycle. So you can see here signal from start push button, and signal from sensor 1.3, right? So when there is a start button which is 1.4 and stop button which is 1.6, so at 1.4 you will get a start button, it is a 3/2 push button DC valve. Again 1.6 is a stop button, you can say it is again a 3/2 DC valve. So when the start button, it is getting a signal, so 1 is connected to 2, 2 is connected to 14, right? So from 1 to 4 of 5/2 DC valve and through roller valve, right, again it gives again 5/2 DC valve, it moves to the port 14 and it moves, the piston will move from left to right, let's say for a 3 cycle. So when this is the, it will reach to 1, then it will reach to 1.2, it will reach to 1.3. when it reaches to the 1.3, right, from the right side of the piston, again this flow will go like this at 0.2, right? So here you can see the arrangement of throttle valve. So air is getting exhausted, but again from 1 to 2 it will be returned back. So for a one time it will have a to and fro motion, second time it will have a to and fro motion, right? Here you can see, so 1 time, 2 time, let's say 3 time, 5 time, and when you are applying a stop button, it will come back to its position here. So this was the counter, and when the counter, whatever you have said, it is reached, then it will stop, which we'll see in the example number, let's say this 2, this is for a to and fro signal, right? This shows the question for a to and fro signal, whereas the 14 it shows the counting action for a, say let's 3 or something. So these are the two different circuit. One shows you at 14 a to and fro motion only, right? So it is a double acting cylinder to carry out an oscillatory motion. After a start signal is given, the cylinder should stop in the retract position always when a stop signal is given. So it is for that question here. What I mean to say, जब तक स्टॉप सिग्नल नहीं मिलेगा तब तक ये क्या करेगा, टू एंड फ्रो मोशन करेगा. So the two position of the pneumatic circuit for the control task you can see when the start signal is given and when the sensor used for obtaining the automatic return motion of the cylinder is activated. Right? जब तक stop नहीं बताएंगे तब तक it should automatically move to and fro. So you can see the cyclic operation of the double acting cylinder with a necessary start and stop control can be realized by using the concept given in earlier, that two position of the pneumatic circuit for the continuous cycle of operation with the necessary start and stop control. The state of the circuit after applying the start signal you can see, and the state of the circuit when the cylinder is fully extended you can see here. So when a stop signal is applied using, let's say, valve 1.6, the output signal of valve 1.8 goes off, and thus stopping further forward motion. 1.8 is here, you can see this is a 1.8 valve. This is a pneumatic counter, let's say for a circuit 3 of rotation or 4 rotation, 5 rotation, or 5 time if you want to and from motion. So you can see here the circuit. So the pneumatic circuit you can see here for the cyclic operation of the double acting cylinder for a preset number of cycle is similar to earlier one here, except the stop control. A counter is incorporated here in the circuit to count the cyclic operation and to generate the stop signal automatically when the set number of cycle is completed. The counter can be preset for a count value of 3, 5, 10, whatever. Right? The signal generated by sensor 1.3 here in the extended position of the cylinder is generally used as the input signal at port 12 of the counter here. So this is all about the basic or normal circuits of a pneumatic. Thank you.